How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you for coming to the Livingston Parish Council. Per the legislative auditor, we have to take public hearing for the millage tonight. So, before we start the whole meeting, so Miss Sandy, will you read the millage by title?
This is proposed ordinance 25-12. It's an ordinance setting the millage rates as adjusted for the tax year 2025.
All right, so we're going to open the floor up to public hearing. Is anybody here to speak for or against the millages? All right, I'm going to close the public hearing. All right. Mr. Councilman Erdy, you have the prayer tonight.
Dear Lord, I want to thank you for all of us right.
Mr. McMorris, will you lead us in the pledge? To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. All public notices have been pushed out, and the media has been notified. Ms. Sandy, will you call the roll?
Mr. Mangus?
Present.
Mr. Goff? Here. Mr. Watts is absent. Mr. Shavers?
Here.
Mr. Coates?
Here.
Ms. Sandifer? Here. Mr. Erdy?
Here.
Mr. Wascom?
Here.
Mr. Taylor?
Here. All right, if you wouldn't mind, please mute all cell phones. Anyone wishing to address any agenda item tonight, please fill out a card. If you fill up that card, you'll get 4 minutes. If you feel compelled to speak on an agenda item that you haven't filled out a card for, we'll give you 2 minutes. Please address the council and nobody in the audience. And if you have any questions while inside your 4 minutes, we'll answer that after your time has elapsed if the council desires to. All right. Presentations. Recognition of Gabrielle Sibley, senior at French Settlement High, winner of the 5th District Congressional Art Competition, Mr. Dean Coates.
All right, I'd like to take an opportunity to to honor one of our students at French Settlement High School, Miss Gabby Sibley. Can you come up to the podium, please? All right, I'm just going to give you all a little bit of what this is about. In honor of an outstanding achievement as the winner of the 2025 Congressional Arts Competition, your remarkable piece, Viking, was selected from among the talented submissions and will be proudly displayed in the the United States Capitol for 1 year, a testament to the creativity, vision, and dedication of your dedication to the arts. Your work not only represents the talent of French Settlement High School and our district, but also serves as an inspiration to young artists across the nation. Congratulations, Gabrielle, on your incredible achievement, and I applaud you for that. And we also would like to present you with a certificate, and if you don't mind, the council come down.
I just want to know if you'll send a picture into our office. I want to see it. I haven't seen it. Will you email us a picture?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And I'd like to say something else that I didn't say just a moment ago. She's friends with my daughter as well, which has no bearing on her receiving this certificate. But she's a blessing to have. She is so kind and so humble, and I wish all of our youngsters could be inspired by her today. Thank you.
All right, so I don't have anything for number 9 for the parish president's report. Is there anything that y'all have? Mr. Mickey?
Mr. Randy wish he could be here tonight, but he is home convalescing from oral surgery, so we don't have any reports.
All right, thank you. All right.
Just, if you would pass on, Mr. Randy, that I am refraining from any comments about, like, maybe sewing his mouth closed and all I'm just going to refrain from any of those things. That left that door so wide open. But
All right.
The pot and the kettle there.
Adoption of the minutes, the June 12th, 2025 regular meeting for the Livingston Parish Council and June 26th, 2025 regular meeting of the Livingston Parish Council. All in favor, say aye.
Make the motion.
Make a motion. Yeah. Got a motion from Councilman Mangus.
To accept the minutes.
To accept the minutes. Second by Councilman Goff. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Adoption of LP ordinance number 25-12, an ordinance setting the millage rates as adjusted for the tax year 2025. Ms. Sandy, you want to read that by title again?
This is proposed ordinance number 25-12. It's an ordinance setting the millage rates as adjusted for the tax year 2025.
All right. Do we have a motion? No. Motion by Councilman Goff, second. Second by Councilman Mangus. Does anybody on the council have anything to say?
Just for the record, if somebody can we, just for the public to hear it, can we read out what last year's was versus this year so that they can see a comparison? Do we have that accessible? If not, it's okay.
Ms. Sandy, do we have that accessible? It's the same?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Mangus.
Well, the exception is that we don't have the health unit. So it's considerably less. I think it's average home payer, Mr. McMorris, $130, like less now.
And one of the things I don't know if Mr. Mickey's going to point this out, but if you would, and it is an increase in our revenue, but it should not be an increase on each individual resident. There's more residents, so we're going to have more money. But as an individual homeowner or property owner, their rate should be the same on their tax bill as it was last year. And I made a comment before that, and it took off on Facebook, that nobody would really see any difference. And that's the intent or the meant behind it, is that the increase in dollars is going to come because we have more citizens and more structures.
But what's coming out of
That
their
is correct. However,
check is less.
the health unit's tax did expire. Therefore, everyone should see a reduction because that was a parish-wide tax that expired. So that was 1 point. I think you guys went with 1.3. The max was 1.5. I think you went with, no, the max was 2.5, and last year
we
was
said at 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5. So
Yep.
they will see a reduction, probably somewhere around on a $250,000 home, somewhere around $112 or so reduction.
So it's lower, people are paying less.
Yeah,
Yes.
everyone should pay less because that will not be on the tax roll.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, vote on your iPad. Councilman Erdy? That passed unanimous. Introduction of ordinance, an ordinance to amend Chapter 50 of the Code of Ordinance of Livingston Parish, offenses miscellaneous, Section 50-16, littering. Councilman Shavers.
Yeah, this is just an introduction. I spoke to, I think it was Brad. Brad, we did? Okay. So what I'm basically doing is just increasing the fines to what state law allows us to. We were not at max, but with this ordinance, we will be at max. So just gonna read them really quick for the people at home and the people in the audience. First offense is $500 and 4 hours of community service. Second offense is $1,500 and 8 hours of community service. Third offense is $3,000, 30 days in jail, 75 hours of community service, and have his or her motor vehicle license and hunting and fishing license suspended for 1 year. So if you're littering, you get caught. First offense is that, second offense is that, and then third offense. So I would suggest keep your garbage in your can and keep the back of your trucks cleaned out. So I make a motion to send it.
Got a motion by Councilman Shavers. Do a second. Second by Councilman Mangus. All right.
I had
Gonna-
one, sorry.
Yep.
One quick question. Staying here. I have one quick question, if you don't mind looking into it for me, and that is I'm 100% behind the guidelines and the fact that it's matching up with the state. My question is by the time they get to the third offense, they need to have stronger penalties. But is that third offense, does any of that roll off? In other words, if I'm a young kid and I throw something out at 18, and then in 25 something blows out of my truck and I get my second offense, and then at 65 I lose my license. So is there a time frame in there that doesn't stay on your
So
record?
some criminal violations do have a time frame. For instance, a DWI.
Right.
If you get a DWI and you don't get another one for more than 10 years, and then you get another one, that counts as a first, not a second.
Right.
But that's spelled out. I don't believe that may apply to this too. That 10-year time frame.
If you could just check into it
Sure.
for me, I would appreciate it.
Miss Sandy, can you read about title?
Okay, this will be proposed ordinance 25-13. It's an ordinance to amend Chapter 50 of the Code of Ordinances of Livingston Parish, Offenses Miscellaneous, Section 50-16, littering, as follows. The public hearing will be on July 24th at 6 p.m.
All right. Councilman Wascom.
I had pulled it off real quick. So you could probably answer Brian, Mr. Cascio as well. Where it says you went to the maximum that the state allows, is that third offense, the $3,000 fine and jail term, and it says you could and lose your driver's license. Is that the state says you? I mean, is that allowed by the state that you?
Yeah,
can
I
lose?
believe this mirrors what the state law says.
Okay.
Because as a parish ordinance, you're allowed to meet, but you can't exceed the state law
Right.
penalty.
I guess my question is, for the third offense, would it be okay to maybe make an amendment to like Mr. I think who was it? Mr. Goff made the comment about having it roll off after that. After a. In other words, say the third offense, if you hadn't had the first one in 5 years, then it wouldn't be a third; it would become a second. I mean, can we make that part of it? Or just put that in there? I mean, if you take somebody's driver's license away, you're putting them out of work, and you're going to create a homeless problem. And so, I'm all about raising the fees, and I like everything about it, hunting and fishing license as well. But I mean, just the driver's license that could be a pretty hard.
I mean, that's what state law. I mean, that's what state law allows, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's allowed to do it. And my thought process as somebody who is passionate about a litter-free parish is if you can't get your act together after the third offense, you don't deserve a driver's license or a job. That's my personal opinion, but I'll get with Brad on it, consider it.
Okay, if you would, let's consider that before the adoption.
Absolutely.
And if or just add that language in there that after 5 years, the first one rolls off.
That's right.
or something.
I'll work with Brad on it.
Or change it to where.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Okay,
All right. Councilman Erdy.
Yes, Brad, he kind of was asking the same question I may be, but when you get the third offense and you lose your driver's license, what room do we have that, I'm not trying to give room, don't take it that way, I'm just trying to find out, when would they ever get a driver's license again?
Yeah, so look, this is totally up to you guys. Right now, it would be suspended for an entire year. But if you guys want to put in a 5-year or 10-year cleansing period to where the offenses would then start over, you have the latitude to do that if you want.
Does state law do that?
On certain crimes, they do, yes.
On this one?
I'd have to check.
Okay.
Real quick,
Hold on. Councilman Coates.
All right, Mr. Cassio, this question's for you, you and Mr. Shavers. So if we have a state law and we are creating an ordinance to mimic that state law, isn't that redundancy?
So what this does is, your local law enforcement, your sheriffs, and your city police have the ability to write any ticket, whether it be a speeding ticket or a littering or any of those type of misdemeanor crimes that are also in state statute and you have in parish ordinance. They can write it under the parish ordinance or under the state statute. So it depends on what they write it under, would affect the penalties.
Right, but I guess that's what I'm asking. That was the question. Because the question is, if you can write it under state law, why have an ordinance for it?
No,
You're just creating bureaucracy in the government.
Well, look, that's why we have parish ordinances and state law. I think that, I know that it allows you guys to have your penalties meet but not exceed state law. So, if you have a deputy that writes somebody under the parish ordinance as opposed to the state law, and the parish ordinance carries a lesser penalty, then that guy gets a break. So I guess it really depends on who's writing the ticket, who's writing the citation.
Right. So, Mr. Shavers, is this mimicking? Are these fines consistent with the state, or are they lower?
No, they are what state law allows, max.
Okay.
And then also, though, I think, I think the fines, I could be wrong, but I think the fines that are collected from things like speeding or littering, if it's written under state law as compared to parish ordinance, when that money gets collected and then distributed, the funds get distributed differently.
Okay.
So the parish wouldn't get as much money under a state law violation as under a parish ordinance violation.
Understood. Thank you.
All right, Councilman Mangus.
Yes, this is RS Revised Statute 30:2531.1, and it does explain all the penalties. But I think, Mr. Coates, to your question, if we enact it, as Mr. Shavers is suggesting, as our ordinance, then we would receive a larger percentage of any of the fines, as opposed to just saying it's the state's. Mr. Cascio helped us earlier, I guess it was last year, but with the truck routes. Remember, before it was just a parish ordinance, and all we did was give them a $500 fine, a maximum of $500 fine, and that was it. But I requested that we look into enforcing it under, what's the moving violation code? 32. Yeah, 32, which it can be under there. That goes on there as a moving violation, goes on their insurance and all of that. And that has eliminated a great deal of the truck problems, the Dollar General trucks driving through subdivisions, and because now they know, and their GPS, they know what will happen to them. They'll lose safety bonuses, they'll have to pay. This may be a deterrent.
Thank you. Councilwoman Sandiford.
I just wonder if, Mr. Cascio, if we could put some language in it to totally mirror the state in any changes the state would make in the future, because I know that in talks with the lieutenant governor, he's coming down on this in the next couple of years. It's a problem statewide, and so the penalties are going to... Can we mimic the state?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this one almost verbatim does, as far as the penalties are concerned. It almost verbatim mirrors what state law says.
So,
and if state law ever changes, you guys have the ability to change it again.
So we can't just, but can we put some language in there that will automatically just mirror the state, even if the state changes, so we don't have to take it up again?
The problem with doing that is maybe you guys don't agree with what the state does. Maybe they do something so drastic, you guys say, wait a minute, I don't think we want to do this.
I do.
I just don't want to, I hate for you guys to be, I'm with you, but I don't want, you guys or future councils to be tied
Okay.
into doing whatever the state does. Give you guys some latitude to change it as you wish.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Shavers.
One last thing I want to say is, as a perfect example, and I've had constituents complain to me, and I know this is Ricky's district, but I'm going to speak to some of the constituents that live in my area that commute through District 7, 190 where the dump is. I've had a lot of people call me and say that dump trucks, waste management, when they are driving those trucks to the dump and they're hitting those bumps right before you turn to where the dump is, garbage falls out the back of the truck. Well, I think this should send a clear message, and from what I'm being told, Waste Management is not getting ticketed for that. But what this would do is, if they aren't paying attention to the garbage falling out the back of that truck, if you get a third offense and you're not securing your load, you shouldn't have a driver's license, in my opinion. But that's the kind of stuff that we need to make sure that's not happening, because whenever it falls out the back of the truck, it blows down the road and it's in somebody else's yard, and that is just, to me, irritating. And I think it's a mess. So I will consider the year fall off thing, but that's all.
All right. Anybody else? Okay. Vote on your iPad. That passed unanimous, and so it'll go on the next agenda on the 24th for adoption. All right. The 24th. All right, adopt a resolution to request DPW to place a warning sign located at Corker Vein Road near Gainey's Concrete Products in Council District 9, Mr. Erdy. Councilman
Yes,
Erdy.
Gainey's has been off of, on Coker Vale, off of James Chapel for many years, I don't know, 20 or more. And they got a big facility on the right side of the road as you drive, and they constructed another building not too long back on the left side. And what they're doing is they're just walking across the road. If there's traffic, there's homes in the back that go through the down Coker Vale, and they come and go all day long. And we're looking for a pedestrian sign because they're not transporting things. They're just walking from one side of the road to the other side of the road. And there's cars coming from people who live back there. So I'm just asking for some type of pedestrian sign because they've got a little small curve there and I don't want nobody to get hit.
All right.
It's about 20-something feet across. That's it.
Yes, sir. Is that a,
Make a
is that his
for
motion?
Yes.
Got a motion by Councilman Erdy. Second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Goff. Vote on your iPad. That passed unanimous. Adopt resolution to add the following roads to the priority road list for consideration: Sullivan Lane, Chattahoochee Lane, Chattahoochee Avenue, Charters Avenue, and Cavalier Drive. These are all in Councilman Wascom's drive. Shantu. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah,
Shanty Lane.
Chateau Lane. I'm sorry,
That's
it was Chateau
okay.
Lane. But anyways,
I got a
brain works faster than my mouth. All right, is that a motion?
I had gotten an email from the mayor of Denham Springs. These are some streets that really need attention, so we're just going to add that to the list. So I'll put that in the form of a motion, please.
Got a motion by Councilman. Got a motion by Councilman Wascom. Got a second by Councilman
Well,
Erby.
what I'd like to say before we vote, I'd like for you to say that word again, please. Chatter what?
Chattahoochee.
Okay.
All right. All in favor? Vote on your iPad. That passed unanimous. Board appointments, resignation, Livingston Parish Gas District Number 1, Councilman Erdy.
Yes, one of my mic on, okay. One of my longtime people on the board passed away recently, a few weeks back, and I haven't. So Mr. John Helmers has passed away, and he's gone. But anyway, I have a new appointee sitting in the audience right now, and that's Mr. Mrs. Summer Purvis, sitting right there. Would you come up, Summer? And that's my new appointee to the gas district up there in Fourth Ward.
So is that a motion?
That's a motion to,
Got a motion, got a second? Second by Councilman Mangus. I'm going to open the floor for public comment for anybody. You can go ahead and speak if you would like.
I want to thank Councilman Erdy for this opportunity. I've been born and raised in Fourth Ward and look forward to serving the constituents of that area on the gas board.
All right. All right, vote on your iPad.
no. No.
That passed unanimous.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes.
All right. B, Planning and Zoning Commission, remove and appoint Councilman Erdy.
I'm trying to, looking for that right here. Where is it? Over here. Sorry. Hold on. No, hold on. Well,
Doing the planning and zoning one.
here. Yes, what it is, Mr. Craig Watts has opted off the board, and he no longer wishes to be a member of the planning and zoning. So right now, you know, I have his resignation. I've turned it in to the ladies and all. They have that in proper order.
So
And
we
I'm
need to
gonna-
make a motion to accept his resignation.
Yes, that's right.
So is that a motion?
Yes, it is.
Got a motion from Councilman Erdy, second by Councilwoman Sanford. Vote on your iPad. That passed unanimous. Do you have somebody that you're wanting to appoint to that board?
I've went through several interviews at this point. I will have one by the next meeting. I will have the new appointee, and I'm just making sure, taking my time, doing the right thing, getting the right person.
Yes, sir. So
Okay.
we'll just get with the council staff and we'll get it on there. Committee reports, Finance Committee.
The only item we had was the millages before. Mr. You want to touch base on the audit report and where we're at and what the update is on that now?
At the Finance Committee meeting, Mr. Jacob Wagasback, who is partner for Falk and Winkler, presented to the Finance Committee that the audit was late. So the audit is required to be completed by June 30. We were unable to do that. We worked with them very hard, but because of the grants, over $20 million flowed through the books. We had some reconciliation issues with prior year. So as an auditor, they decided it was better to have an accurate report than a fast report. So Mr. Wagasback did call me yesterday, said that the numbers are finalized, and he firmly believes that by July 18th, the report will be completed. Therefore, by your next meeting, you should have the audit report.
All right. Thank you. Councilman Mangus.
Yeah, I just wanted to reiterate one thing, is that Mr. Wagaspack said that there will be no additional fees, charges incurred. The state will also not penalize us in any way for this.
No monetary.
Yeah, no monetary penalty. And mainly when you spoke of the grants, what was stated at that meeting was a lot of them were the grants for, I think they said 340 for like raising houses and that, right?
Yeah, we have numerous, it's one big grant, but it's individual, So some of them are 100% reimbursed, some of them are 75% reimbursed, and homeowners must pay us that 25%. We have to keep track of that. But a lot of it came from the different sources that grants come from, like from the state, from DOTD, capital outlay, different pots of money. So, Cook Road is a huge project. It's over $20 million itself. Just tracking that money was somewhat difficult. So, but it was a very thorough audit. They've been in office for over 2 months. They're very thorough. It just, and both the staff and the audit team have a much better understanding of the grants now, because we went over each grant individually, analyzed it, the expenditures and our accounts receivables and payables, and so they feel very comfortable that they have it right. Last year we had to go back and amend a report called a CFA report that causes us your problems on the federal side. And then we had some issues reconciling back to that report. So it took a little time to get that right.
All right. Councilman Goff?
It is grossly understated how difficult this task is for the most people to understand. When you take one project that's $20 million, and then you have all these homes that are being lifted throughout the parish, and that money flows through the parish, so the parish has to facilitate it. And then to keep up with what homeowner paid his 25% and what did actually show up to our bank account from the federal side, and then us to disperse it back out on the other side to actually get the home lifted, using that as an example, and then you throw Cook Road on top of there. So one of the positive things that have came out of this whole thing is for the lack of a better explanation, it's simple, not overthinking it, and it's a spreadsheet that takes everything as it comes in, and you can look at each individual grant in a given time frame and see what has come in, what has been allocated, where your shortfalls or anything are at. So this will not happen in the future, not only for this administration but any others. But we're 18 days late, and like you said, it's better to be correct. So the state legislative auditor requires us to send them a letter of out of compliance, because we could not give them the final and guaranteed numbers. We could have sent something in, but like he said, he wanted to be accurate versus being late. So we sent it in, everything's good. And all the other numbers are fine. It's just trying to reconcile these. So I think they've done a great job, and I commend them on it. I've seen these things go a lot, and I appreciate them not charging any additional funds on it from there, and I appreciate a solution for y'all's office, because it's a monumental task. So,
yeah.
Thank you. Councilman Shavers?
How many pages roughly is the audit? Do you know offhand, or do you know about how many it will be? Just an estimate.
It'll be similar to last year's. It was everything's going to be kind of the same. It's just reconciliation to this CFA report, because people do look at this audit. Some of the public may not understand what's going on, but they're federal auditors, that are actually analyzing this stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be a pretty thick packet.
it won't be that thick. It's what? Yeah, it's a half-inch thick or so.
The only concern I have is if they have a deadline of July 18th. I'm assuming you guys are going to want us to adopt this on the 24th meeting. Is that correct?
Yes.
That gives us 3 days to look at it. And y'all will be closed on the 18th, so we probably wouldn't really get it till the 21st.
So actually, the independent auditor, you hired an independent auditor to look at it. So he has certain rules and regulations to be a CPA that he has to go through. So you have no input on what's going to change in the audit. The audit is the audit. So,
but I get what you're saying, but we have to adopt it.
No, you don't have to adopt it.
So what?
You just get it.
So what are we doing on the 20th that you need from us?
Well, it'll be made public. It would be presented to you.
Will it be on the council agenda?
Yeah, we'll put it on the agenda.
And what's it going to? Yeah, go ahead, Miss Sandy.
The home charter, it says that they just have. In the home rule charter, it says they just have to present it during a regular meeting. You can talk about it at the finance committee, but it has to be presented to y'all.
At the council meeting,
There's
as
no
just a
vote.
presentation, as just to hear you go. So I guess what is it being on the council agenda for? I mean, is it going to be like a resolution to do anything?
That's what makes it public.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, there's actually no action required on behalf of the council. It's almost like a presentation.
Okay.
The auditor would come up and say, look, here's our, here, we either had findings or we didn't have findings,
It'll
you
go
know,
under the
grade you,
commission.
whatever the case may be.
Okay, and so we would just ask questions if we had them.
Yes.
Correct.
Gotcha.
And if you have any other questions further down the road.
Or 2
you put it
weeks
back
from
in.
now, or
Okay.
a month from now, or whenever, you know.
Yeah.
All right. If nobody has any other questions, Infrastructure Committee?
So,
Infrastructure.
so we will be having a meeting coming up, and the direction that we're looking at, we're going to reach out to Mr. Jim Ryan. We have a real, this is kind of a ridiculous comment, but we have a real traffic problem in our parish, and we're behind the curve. So we've been trying to come up with some clever ways to get ahead of that curve and get projects into shovel-ready, kind of what is called an H status through the state, to where we can start getting some funds when they come available and give our legislators the tools that they need with a good priority list. That being said, what we're going to look into is the only way that I know of to move us forward is to possibly bond out some of this money that we're going to be collecting coming up. So those projects will be specific projects that will be geared toward moving more cars, i.e. taking Burgess Road from Lockhart once Jubilee Road is extended and going north to Arnold Road, taking 449 down to Black Mud Road. And what that does, it helps our industrial corridor to where it can continue to grow, but it also helps our residents move north to south in the parish. Right now, Walker is the highest traffic road in the parish going north because everybody's trying to get north of the city of Dillon Springs and to Watson, et cetera. So Jubilee Extension, i.e. Burgess Road Expressway, Burgess Expressway would continue on up with no red lights. And then the same thing would happen with 449. If we connect that to Black Mud Road, it's 1.3 miles, but it gives everyone the opportunity, not to mention these trucks that come and go, like Mr. Ryan said, is a definite problem. It'll give them another avenue that's closer to the landfill, close to the industrial park, and move them out of Walker. So it just gives us a better avenue, but it also gives the opportunity for the constituents that live north to be able to go up north on 449 and go left or right, however they need to get. So we're trying to think of how we can move more traffic and then move it and be safer. One of the ones that come up as well, because we're not just thinking about the west side here, and I'm going to get with Mr. Joe and Mr. Dean and a few other ones, is Highway 63 is going south because there's an old railroad path there. So that's another one that we want to look at because it makes a good evacuation, but it also creates more tourism and an ability to get to Highway 22, which is the travel.
It's an artery out.
That's right. So those are kind of the things we're looking at, but we're also looking at roundabouts like at 444 and French Settlement because of traffic. So Mr. Ralph Burgess and myself, this infrastructure meeting coming up, we're going to digest that even more. Talk to Mr. Ryan. If we bond this money out, and I want to make this clear, I'm not here to bond out every dollar we got. That's not what this is for. This is to do some decent. We collect $29 million in our road fund. So if we take $10 million forward over a few years, we can easily get to $60-70 million worth of money to go ahead and run through the bond commission. Because as I understand, our interest rate for the bond commission, because everything that's going on in the world, is going to be at a lower rate. What it does also, it allows us to put blacktop on the ground and do some of these roads that need to be done at the material cost that it is today versus 10 years from now. And it helps us get past the curve. It's no different than animal control. We need it. Figure out a way. We got it. We made it. It's being built. This is, how do we fix the traffic? We're really seriously coming up with solutions that are really hard thought solutions that could be in our lifetime, like 7, 8 years, be constructed. And it'll put us in the right position for our delegation to go to work for us for all the other projects. So I'm fired up about it, as you can tell. But I will be coming, hopefully, to each one of you individually in your particular district, because you know it better than anybody. So I'm asking you to look at and think about where the traffic problems are now, like more specifically in the mornings and afternoons. Where's there a problem? Another one that comes up is Port Vincent. It's a problem, you know. So we want to help our commuters get back and forth to work. And the only way we can do that is going to be, you know, some pretty substantial type projects. So if anybody has any questions about that, feel free to call me. But the infrastructure meeting will be next week, and it'll be a pretty important one.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Okay.
She's going to send it out, but
What date are you? Okay.
That's it.
Ordinance committee meeting?
Yeah.
Ordinance committee?
Ricky, I want to first off by saying I can really appreciate the fact that you know that there is traffic problems in Livingston Parish. Can you do me a favor and rub some of that off onto your planning commissioner? Because I swear I think he doesn't think that we've got problems with traffic in Livingston Parish.
I will go to bat for Mr. Gerald.
I know you will.
The days in, because he has forgot more than most of us know, and he's passionate. And that's the only thing you can ask for somebody to volunteer their time and put forth the effort.
You really want to know traffic?
Yeah.
Live in between two bridges that are out within a mile of each other.
Y'all did
Okay.
notice that Jubilee Road has some, like, permanent concrete pieces in the middle, right? Like the curves, like that, those are permanent pieces. Like, they're not temporary pieces. So it's starting to take shape, thank goodness.
I love to see it happen
All right.
because I'm tired of getting phone calls from my sister about that traffic.
I hope South Juban is right behind it.
Ordinance committee, we're going to have a meeting on the 15th. I think John Mangus has got some ordinances coming down the pipe. I think Aaron Sandifer is working on some, and I'm hoping to get those kind of finalized into a draft. Prior ordinance meeting, we discussed a concept plan ordinance, which will be discussed Tuesday. And really what that is anytime anybody requests a rezone, and it could be from one category to another, only on specifics, specific ones, that you will have to provide a concept plan to the planning commission and to the council, and as to kind of what you're doing, why are you wanting to rezone, and it may be for only a certain amount of acres, or it may be for more broader, larger lots. But anyways, that's in the works. We're going to have our attorney work on it and have that at the next ordinance committee meeting, which will be the 15th. So,
All right. District Attorney's report?
Yeah, other than prosecuting criminals, it's pretty quiet on the legal front, and that's the way we like it. So nothing of note to report tonight. Thank you.
All right. Does any council member have council member comments?
go ahead, John.
I would like to just heartfelt reach out to the people of Texas and New Mexico, the tragic loss of life. If you're a person of faith or a person of means, please consider donating, providing. We've reached out. I appreciate Mr. Scooter and the church I attend. We've reached out with Travis Tharp and to see what we can do to help those areas. They are kind of inundated, sorry the pun there, with actual people, volunteers. So they don't really need like the Cajun Navy type deal, but they do need items and funds and thoughts and prayers, and the prayers of the righteous can go a long way. So please consider them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Councilman Mangus. Councilman Shavers?
Yeah, Watson had carried on a tradition, 4th of July. We had our, I don't want to say first, well, I guess it would be first 4th of July parade, but we did that back in the 70s, and we kind of carried it on. The Liberty Bells, the Livingston Parish Republican Women, and the RPEC kind of joined forces. We're going to do it in Denham, but due to some conflicts in schedule, they decided to come and do it in Watson, and what a wonderful turnout it was. Highway 16 going south from The red light in Watson to Rudy Seafood was packed with people, and it was a really good turnout. And so I was really honored to be a part of it. And so hope to continue on that tradition every 4th of July. And I just want to thank those organizations that did that and chipped in to really bring Watson together. We really appreciate it. So
Thank you. Motion adjourned? Councilman Waskom.
Mr., if you got a second?
Yep.
Real quick, probably, not long ago, my nephew got married, and his wife, young bride, after a short marriage, about 2 months ago, she fell ill, and she has been in critical care for 2 months, not knowing whether she's going to live or die. They're like 30 years old, very young. And along the same vein that Mr. Mangus talked about with tragedy that hits, you know, at this case, there's no chance that, there's no amount of money that can fix this problem. And there's nothing you can give this person to make them any better. And when you see somebody in this part of life, I was thinking about that coming to the meeting tonight. When you put into perspective how valuable life is, some of the controversy and contention that we deal with as council members, it pales in comparison to what real life is. So I just want to ask you for your prayers on that situation too. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Councilman Erdy.
Yes, I'm kind of proud to say in the Hungarian settlement at our Anvitz Hall, kind of like our meeting hall, we had our first ever summer fun fair learning class event take place yesterday, today, and it finishes tomorrow. And it's all about learning how to speak and count Hungarian, how to make Hungarian food, such as kiflis, one of our favorites, like a little dessert cookie, to learn to dance. We had dance teachers there, and we didn't know what to expect, but I'll tell you, it's been a rousing success. We've been overwhelmed with people who showed up, and I'm proud to say my cohort here, right here, Miss Erin, worked today yesterday, so I applaud her on that, because she can tell you we were on overload, and we had no idea. We put it out there, said we're going to teach all the Hungarian culture. Anybody want to come? And a lot of people came, and I just want everybody to know that, and thank y'all for that. Okay.
Mr. Erdy, could you give us an example of the dance you learned?
I can dance. I gotta have a partner. Did you?
All right. Motion to adjourn? Got a motion by Councilman Mangus, second by Councilman Goff. All in favor say aye.